Scrappy Sisters, and it is day 13 of our Scrappy Advent Calendar series, and today is my turn for another process video. Now I am just playing around here, hence the more live kind of intro. Normally I'm doing my voiceovers, but I just wanted to explain what I've already done, explain where I'm going with this concept, and then I'll probably turn the video off, do a little bit of work, and then come back, and then I may do a voiceover, I'm not sure. Anyway, what I have made, which is a bit potentially a little tricky to see on camera, is I've cut this A5. Originally it was an A5 piece of paper. Let me find another one. So this is an A5 piece of paper from the Cocoa Vanilla Studio Joyful collection. I don't know what that is in metric, sorry, but I've trimmed it down to 4 inches wide, and what I'm making is a large pocket. So I've got some vellum, which I've already just adhered down with my ATG gun, and I did a little half circle punch with my 1-inch circle punch out the front in the middle, so I could get things easily in and out. And then I thought that I'm going to do the same thing front and back. I've done this a couple of times with my layouts so far, just because it's kind of easy. I like it, and I'm kind of okay with having, you know, the same concept front and back. So the Cocoa Vanilla Studio paper is single-sided in the A5 paper stack, so I'm doing another kind of pocket the exact same on the back side, and I'm telling 2 different stories in these. So I thought I would put one together for us kind of live, and then explain what I'm doing, or what I'm thinking I'm going to do, at least with one side, maybe not both, we'll see. So I'm just using my half circle punch, sorry, my 1-inch circle punch, and punching a half circle. Is that about the middle? I don't know, I don't measure. This is a 4x4 square of vellum, so I can use any side to punch out my half circle, make it roughly close enough to the middle, maybe about there. Not quite the middle, but it will do. And then all I'm going to do is run some adhesive along as close to the edge as I can get it, along 3 sides, to create my pocket, because I need this to hold my 3x4 photos. And then I'm just going to line this up with the bottom and the side, sort of. It's fairly close. And so I've got my 2 little pockets. Now I do need to punch my holes. I don't know whether I should do that now. I think I might, just so that when I'm getting my photos and stuff ready to put in, I can make sure I don't decorate or anything over where the holes are going. Right, so I've punched my holes. Now what I've got here is 2 stories. So I can't remember which numbers they are, I'll need to look it up. I think it's story 17 and 18 in Jess's 2022 album. So I've got 2 photos of Jack, one photo of Jack and one photo of Tom. They're making Christmas crafts. So I'm going to probably do these front to back. And I might make a little tag. I might cut these photos down slightly and make a little tag, just so I can put, you know, some ribbon or something to be able to pull these photos out easier with. But I don't want to put too much thickness in between them, or else we'll struggle to fit them in the pocket. And then I've got 2 photos here of clay ornaments that Jess and the boys made to add to gifts for Thomas's daycare educators or childcare educators. So they will go on that side. So as I said, it'll be front to back like this. I think I'm going to put my journaling at the top. I don't know, some embellishments definitely. I'm going to have a play. But what I wanted to do first, I'm going to take these photos out. Hence why I've got these things out here. I'm thinking, I found this little pom-pom ribbon in my stash. Now it's pretty thin, but I sort of want to add it to the bottom, at least to one side, this side, I think. Yeah, I think that blue's a bit much on the white, but I don't mind it with this kind of green. And I do have a sewing machine. Fun fact, I have 2 sewing machines. And I don't believe either of them are working, and I have never sewed on paper, and I'm not very good at it. So what I'm thinking I might do is adhere this with red line tape, and then I've just got some thread, and I think I might need my pokey tool to poke some holes through this, and I think I want to add a bit of stitching just to secure this a little more. So I don't know, should we experiment together? Is this red line tape going to be too big? I don't really want to have to cut it if I can avoid it. Let's see. Let's just do it, you know, live a little. You only live once, right? So let's adhere this red line tape. I don't use this red line tape very often, but you know, Ellie Edwards uses it all the time. And it's supposed to be amazing stuff, and I do have some. So let's see how we go here. So am I going to need something to help me pull this up? No, that wasn't too hard. Okay, whoops, she says as she struggles. All right, there we go. Okay, so let's see if I can stick this down, and then we might see if we're going to need to stitch. I kind of wanted to stitch just because I thought it might be fun. So, wow, that really does stick well. I should trust the people that create a lot, although it is sticking out a bit. That's all right. So, my question is, do I wrap it around the back a tiny bit to give it a clean look? Tricky. Let's just cut that off. Right, folks, you can tell me at home what you think I should do, even though I will have already done it. Should I wrap it around the back and add a tiny bit more adhesive? I think I might. Remembering that these 2 things are gonna, no, I don't think I will, because these are gonna stick back to back, and I don't want them to be too bulky. So you know what? I'm not going to. Just going to cut it off. Now, it might well fray. I'm okay with that. It's not my album. But I'm also okay with that. So, should have got my, what do you call them? Sewing scissors out. Oops. Okay. There we go. Right. So, just wanted something a little different down there. So, you know what? I don't think I am going to stitch. I know I got it out to stitch, but I think that might make it a little bulky to add this to the bottom. And I don't mind that you can kind of see the little pom-poms at the bottom there. I think that's kind of cute. All right, let's leave that. So what I'm going to do now, put this off to the side, I've got a bit of room. I'm going to go through my supplies here and see what I can create. I've got a whole nother ephemera pack. I'm just trying to, you know, work with what I have here. I don't know whether I'm going to need, sorry, I've moved away from my microphone. I've probably gone quiet or quieter. All right. So, let's see here. I've got heaps of chipboard, so I've been trying to avoid using the chipboard in the layouts that have gone into page protectors, because they make the page protectors warp a little bit. So I try to use my chipboard on the layouts that are not in the page protectors. So I think I might try and use some chipboard on this page, but I don't know what I want to do here. Oh, making spirits bright could definitely, oh, maybe I should put this one here because of the thing, and maybe a little making spirits bright. I know that tag's cute, and it kind of goes with the, oh, actually it goes with both. Oh, it goes with both. Okay, because they're creating crafts. Oh my gosh, isn't they so cute? All right, what else have I got in this chipboard that I could use? Okay, I might turn the camera on to fast forward now and do a voiceover, just so you don't have to watch me faff about and audition things and whatnot in real time. So I'm going to switch to fast forward mode so you can see me pull all of this together, but hopefully talking through the first part was helpful. So yeah, let me jump on fast forward and let's see what we come up with. Alright guys, so this is a much longer video than any of my others have been to date, because I talked a lot in that first part and didn't do as much creating as I would have liked. So this is sped up double time, but there's still a lot that needs to happen for these layouts to come together. So you saw me fiddling around with the ephemera that I'd chosen, so I chose a little tag that said making spirits bright, and I also grabbed the little chipboard flag that says Santa's Workshop. Don't know why, it's just cute. And then I knew I wanted to use the frame because it mirrors the frame in the pattern paper background, and it had a little making spirits bright insert-y bit, like circle bit, that I don't think they're necessarily meant to be used together, but obviously it was using all of the kind of chipboard anyway. And so you know what, I just put it on this page as well. So yes, they both have an ephemera piece that says making spirits bright, which, you know, is a bit odd, but also they're both about making things, so I think it works. And then I stuck a little envelope with season's greetings on it, on top of that frame. And now I am thinking about the photos. So I know I want to turn them into tags, but I didn't want to add any more bulk because it's a tight fit in that pocket anyway. So what I'm actually doing is just going to add a little bit of extra pattern paper to the top of my photos, and so I can create a tag and punch a hole and add some ribbon, and be able to use that to pull the photos in and out. But I didn't want to add an entire extra piece of pattern paper in between the two photos. So I've pulled out some scrap papers, and yeah, that's what I'm doing. I am cutting a 2-inch strip of paper, 2 inches by 3 inches. So 3 inches is the width of the photo, and it's 2 inches tall. Yeah, and then you'll see what I do in a minute. Might make a little more sense. But I'm just adhering the very bottom of the pattern paper to the top of the photo, and then I will line up the second photo. Anyway, it's probably easier to watch. But I thought this was a really nice way to turn these pictures into a tag without using up a heap of pattern paper, and also without adding that extra layer of paper in between, which was definitely going to bulk out my pocket. And it would have, but this just made it easier to slide those photos in and out. And I'm doing a little cheats way of making a tag. So I'm cutting one corner, and then I'm using that corner that I cut off, flipping it, and then using that as my template to cut the other side so that they're exactly the same and perfectly even. And that is a very good way of making tags when you don't want to measure things, or if you don't have a tag punch or anything like that. So I'm pulling out my hole punch, punching a hole, and then I am going to have a go through my ribbon stash in a minute to find a ribbon that might work. And then I do the same to the other side, although I decide not to punch a hole in that one, and I end up using my tiny attacher to staple the ribbon on instead. I'm just trying to figure out which photo I want to go at the front, because the vellum pocket is obviously a little bit see-through. So I'm trying to work out which photo looks the best. And I actually thought I was going to use the single clay ornament that Jess made photo as the one that faces out. But actually, no offense to Jess, but I didn't like her fingers being in it. It looked, I don't know, it wasn't as good as the kind of full tray of clay ornaments. So that's the one that I put facing outwards. But honestly, Jess can choose whatever she wants. Again, doing my little tag trick. Not mine. It's certainly not mine. But the little tag trick that lots of people use to make tags. I did think about punching the hole, but then I thought, no, I'm just going to leave it for a minute. I might like to use my tiny attacher. And then I'm going to come through my ribbon stash here. These are mostly Christmas ribbons, or like the decorative bobble ribbons in this little jar. And I'm just trying to figure out which ribbon is going to go. Now, I had a lot of green ribbon, but none of them kind of were the right sort of green to match this in this collection. It's kind of more a seafoam green, a minty green, some combination of those. And that's just, I didn't have ribbon that kind of matched. So I've actually gone with black, which there's no other black on this page except for the text in the journaling, but I think it works. And then I've actually gone with red on the second page, which again is a little bit like the red that's in this collection is very muted. Like I would almost call this pastel-y type red. Like it's not a super bright red, unlike the ribbon, which is quite a deep, dark red. But I think it still works. So I pulled out my tiny attacher. Then, of course, I ran out of staples. Had to flip it open, and I had a few little staples left in the tiny attacher that had just flipped the wrong way. So turned them back around, made sure I could use those, which I could, which was good. Didn't have to go and raid my drawers to find my refills of tiny attachers. And then I'm just trimming off the ribbon, and then I'm going to do the same with the black and pop away that excess red ribbon that I've got there. And then I've almost finished. Well, that's not true. I have to add my numbers, which does take a bit of time to figure out which numbers I want to use. And then I add my journaling up the top. So yeah, no, I'm not almost finished. I'm really happy though with how these have come together. I still haven't taken my photos, but I wasn't going to stick them together before I gave them to Jess, but I actually am, because obviously she's getting them in the one day. They're in the same video. And they're going back to back in the album, so they can be stuck together for her to unwrap. So that, well, you will have already probably seen that if you watched her video first. But I think, going to stick them together just because it's easier. It's easier to put them back in the album that way too. So I am just going through my stash of thickers to find, I need numbers 17 and 18. And weirdly enough, I go with a gold with like a mint thicker for the green page, but then on the ready page, I go with a black number, and I probably should have put the black number on day 17 with the black ribbon, but I don't. So, doesn't matter. So I've gone with small one there, and this takes me a minute, right? I'm trying to figure out, I want something else up there. I knew I wanted something else up there, but it takes me ages to figure out what that might be. I pull out the second ephemera pack to see whether there's anything there that I want to add. I'm sort of like, what can I find? There's not a heap of like really small ephemera in this collection. I had one circle on the sticker sheet, and then I went, I am going to use that because I would like to kind of have that as my resting place for my number on the day 18 or story 18 page. So I am going to use that. And now I'm putting on a few of my different, like this puffy sticker. Sorry, my words. It's very late at night today. Puffy sticker which says very merry. That doesn't make it. I do take that off. Once I've put my journaling down, I'm like, no, I'm not loving that. Pull that up. And I try a few different things in that spot before I settle eventually. But it does take me a minute to sort of figure it out. I'm going, do I use this? I knew I wanted a puffy sticker. I'm putting this down. And then I'm going, no, that's not going to work. And so I try lots of different things. I end up coming back to that tree, funnily enough, after I've trying to figure out what's going to fit in this space. So there are a few different things, and then I end up coming back and using moving. Oh, that's right. I didn't have enough space, so I needed to move my letter or my number over slightly, and then I added 2 little trees there. It just needed something else. And then I've got this pink circle with gold sticker. I'm going to trim off the excess, and I am going to add it to the bottom, which I somewhat regret now. I mean, it looks fine, but I don't think it needed it, and I don't love what else I put down there. But anyway, like, it's fine. It's not bad. It's just not my favourite part of this layout. So I'm going to add my journaling, and then in my head, I'm pretty sure I've already selected my numbers when I was looking for number 17. I think I already kind of pre-selected number 18. So I'm going to add my journaling, which this one, the journaling for this page I'm working on now just said, I made clay ornaments to give to the staff at work and Thomas's daycare educators to say thank you for a wonderful year. And then the green page says, the boys love making and creating, and these cute door hangers were no exception. So yes, Jess writes one single line journaling. I write like mini essays, which she hated when she was doing my December daily last year. she kept telling me that it was much too hard to add all my journaling to my pages. So there was lots of hidden journaling and like little pull-out tabs and stuff that she created for me to house all my journaling that I wrote. And my 2022 album is no exception. I've already done all the journaling. I haven't printed anything off yet, but there's a lot of journaling. So, as I said, I've nearly finished. I'm just adding the number in here, and I think I do add one more puffy sticker to this day 18. So these are quite large numbers, but I actually think they work quite well here. Or I will say the number 8's a bit weird looking, but I think it works. They're nice and thin and fine. I like that about these. So I'm just adding number 18 there, and then I'm pretty sure I come in and add a puffy sticker down in the bottom. Yeah, I do. So I'm going to add in kind of the only one that really fits, which is fa la la la. Fa la la la, yes. So I add that down the bottom, which I don't hate, but I don't love. But anyway, I add that and then we're all done. So there will be some close-up pictures coming your way. I hope you're loving our series so far. Almost 2 weeks in, very exciting. Almost halfway. But yeah, loving this so far, really enjoying this creating, and I can't wait to open our presents because, you know, we all know that's the best part. I was thinking about gluing it together then, but I thought, no, I want to take my photos first and I'll come back and glue it later. So here are my close-ups. I hope you loved watching our videos and we will see you tomorrow. Thanks, guys. Bye.